Hi, I'm feeling like a doofus now. I'm sitting here, talking to y'all, and I wasn't even recording. Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, I'm feeling like a doofus. Anyway, I've been recording, not recording for like a while, and I don't know, um, I don't know how I did that. I'm just, yeah. Everything was going great this morning, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, I'm not even recording. Oh no. Yeah. That's okay. Um, so I didn't do very much on my story yesterday. Like I did, um, well, actually, I think I set up the whole page. Or no, I got to a certain point and then I was setting up the cage. I mean the page. Ugh. Now I'm having a problem. Anyway, I was setting up the page. Um, at in a paragraph by paragraph page um sort of way. And okay, I set this up to record and I'm so sorry. I've recently discovered I need to go upstairs. So I will explain the rest of that in a moment. And be back. What? I thought it was a black bee. Either way, I'm back. It says checks is still running. That is ridiculous. I mean, I realize it's like 5.5 hours video, but, so, since you missed out on me saying that, I did actually go on GTA yesterday, for any of you that are interested, and we did the Doomsday Heist. The last thing we did was okay, so we're doing the Bogdan, part of the Doomsday Heist, and the last thing we did was the one for the Avenger. And it's a full video of exactly what we did to get that done, just in case you need it. I'm sure that there's a lot of you that have probably already done it. And done it with your friends and, all that. But for those people who are stuck, like maybe they don't have, maybe they have less able players. For those people, I've got you. Because I mentioned less able players because yesterday I was a less able player. I hate to say it, but I really was. I was, I wasn't very good. Ooh. So, yeah, yesterday I was being a not so able player in some aspects of gameplay, and I don't want to do that again. I really don't want to do that again. It was just okay. We're supposed to be going up. Well, we're supposed to be getting the. We were supposed to be getting the. No! How the heck did that happen? Okay, so we were supposed to be getting the I don't know, SD card or whatever from the bad guy, but the bad guy's dead. So it's like, we had to go to the morgue. This is the part that I had to do. But we had to go to the morgue. So, okay. Have to go to the morgue. And on top of that, husband is not allowed in the building for the thing that I was doing. And that didn't work very well either. So we had to go and have him work with my controller. This was the solution to make it to where I could, actually get the mission done. had to have him work with my controller and get it done. It was harder than it looked. But that's not me all the time. That's just me, that specific time. But, usually I'm a helpful player. But I felt like I almost felt like the worst player yesterday during that mission. I'm sure there's somebody that could screw up more than me, but there. How about instead of having that stairway to heaven over there, it's not really heaven, but instead of having that over there, how about we, oops, okay. Instead of having that over there, how about we just have it to where they all go over here if they spawn in? Okay, so one of the things that I was saying while you all couldn't hear me because I was too stupid to actually be recording, or at least I felt like it. And thank you if you just said you're not stupid. um, usually I've got it recording. It's all good. Just I don't know, something happened today that I'm like feeling like a doofus, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. And anyway, so one of the things that I said while you guys couldn't hear me, while y'all couldn't hear me, is apparently there's a second movie with the song "Send Me an Angel." It's a really good song, I think, and apparently, I want to say that they're on the one hit wonder list, but I don't know why. They had such a good sound. But anyway, I want to say that they're on the one hit wonder list. I just know what Professor Rock tells me. So, he's been known to be wrong about movies, but and I've done my best. I've done my really best to try to tell him this movie came out in this month, or this movie came out in this year. It's usually at this year that he has the problem. Or I want to get a hold of whoever put the information out for Grease, the movie Grease, because I know what year it came out because I came out the same year. So I know what year it came out, and something says 1979, and I'm like, no. I'm not a year younger than I am. Kind of wish I was, but I'm not a year younger than I am. And it came out the same year I did. So, I think it's Google that says that. It says that it came out in 1979, and it's like, no. Definitely not. It might have been, actually, instead of GOOGLE, because I don't want to trigger it talking. Instead of GOOGLE, it might have been, might have been somebody said that. And I keep telling them it came out in 1978. I know this for a fact. Because my mama went and told me that I was the only one that could make it to go to the movie theater with her so she could see it. Because Dad was at work and he wasn't really interested anyway. And I don't know why he wouldn't have been interested. But anyway. But anyway, he wasn't, he wasn't, I think she said he wasn't really interested in watching it at the time. And, so it ended up that I was the only one that would go with Mom because I wasn't born yet. And if I remember correctly, it came out on July 20th. And, I came out on July 27th. So it's like, I know when that movie came out. Mama's been telling me about that, you know, forever. Although she didn't tell me that I was the only one that would go to the movie theater with her until I was older. I don't know why she would. Basically, there's parts of that movie that I'm like, why would you let me watch this? But, I've been watching it ever since I was, um, ever since before I was born, so it wasn't really a big deal. Oh, I bet you that's the reason why they, didn't use this very much. Because at the top it didn't have grass, it had, at the top it didn't have grass, it had, stone. Yeah, that's a lot better. So, I don't know how, but when I'm sleeping, I start out on one of my stories, whichever one of my stories it is, and, they make me feel warm and cozy, even if they're not necessarily warm and cozy. Um, yeah, it just gives me good vibes so I can go to sleep. And then I sleep well, which is even better, and, I'm happy. So, so, um, anyway, I don't know how, but I listened to the story. I was listening to, um, I don't know. I think I was listening to Lessons in Love, but I might have been listening to, The Island, one of those two. And, when I went to sleep, and then when I came back, it was on Harry Potter. And they had to rescue Hermione from the troll, and then they became friends. And I hope I didn't just spoil alert that for somebody. Excuse me. Because there may be a kid that's reading them for their very first time. They've always heard about Harry Potter. Like me with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I had never read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And then all of a sudden the library had it on CD, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And I have to get another copy because I have no idea where my copy is. Um, but, I was like, oh my goodness, I love this. I listened to it on audio, but, I loved it. And then I tried to listen to Great Glass Elevator, which I think should have been called Great Glass Wonkavator because he calls it the Wonkavator. He does not call it the elevator. So in case Roald Dahl or the Roald Dahl family is ever watching this, um, I would like to know why the decision was made to call it the Great Glass Elevator. I just want to know. And if you don't actually want to talk to me about it, but want to give me the answer, put it in the comments would be cool. But there's certain books you've always heard about, your whole life, and I'm hoping that somewhere has Where the Sidewalk Ends, because I don't understand if that's supposed to be a story or a thing of poems or what, but when I tried to read it the one time, it did not make enough sense. But I would like to give it another chance. I'd always heard about Where the Sidewalk Ends. And if I can, I would like to get. Okay, one of the books that I liked when I was a kid is a silly sort of, um, a silly sort of book. It's called There Are Rocks in My Socks, Said the Ox to the Fox. And I would really like a copy of that. I would really like a copy of that book just because it's, childhood memories. I want to get some of my favorite storybook tapes, from when I was a kid. I had Pinocchio. I had two versions of Cinderella. I had The Rescuers, Pete's Dragon. Trying to remember the ones that I had. I think there was another one. Anyway, I listened to Pete's Dragon so much. Oh, I had Garfield. I listened to Pete's Dragon and Garfield so much that I wore them out. So, I I probably had Pete's Dragon and Garfield the longest, maybe. But, we listened to all of, I listened to all of those to go to sleep. So, when I got older, my brain just got used to that. And so I have to listen to a story to go to bed. So I told my husband, we're going to be able to book that hotel room a month in advance today. Well, a little less than a month in advance, but we're going to be able to book that today, I'm sure. I'm hoping. Um, and I think the only thing I'm going to need today is kitty litter. Um, well, kitty litter and ice cream. I would very much like ice cream. Um, we got some. Okay, so we got vanilla ice cream in the house right now, and it's good. But I wanted chocolate. But as long as it's got, as long as it's got, ice cream's made out of milk, so As long as it's got milk in it, I'm good. I could suffer with vanilla ice cream if I have to. No, um, I I love the ice cream that we have right now. It's really good. Um, I think he got it at Smith's grocery store, um, in Reno, or no, he probably got it here in Carson. But um, anyway, whatever store he got it at, he probably got it here in Carson. So I'm gonna say that he probably got it at Smith's, because it's not great value for once. I like the Great Value ice cream though. I really do, and I love that it comes in that little the little cup size like the Ben and Jerry's. It comes in the little cup size, and that's not too much. It's maybe a little too much, but I'm good with it. I love it. I hope they don't ever change that. And it's only $1.87, so it's like really awesome. And it tastes like real ice cream. Like if you're used to Breyers or um not if you're used to Ben and Jerry's, but Ben and Jerry's taste different. But if you're like used to Breyers or I think there's Dryers in there too. Um there's other brands in there, like Blue Bunny and stuff. Well, I think Blue Bunny tasted different too. But anyway, if you're used to the fancy ice creams, it tastes just like the fancy ice cream. It's just you got less choices. But if all of us who think that Great Value is okay food will band together and buy the different flavors of ice cream, maybe they'll come up with other flavors. Because right now they've uh they've got a salted caramel that I kind of want to try. Um, they've got chocolate and strawberry, and then they've got, like I said, a salted caramel that I kind of want to try, and something with peanut butter in it. And it's like I want to try it, but I don't want to try it. I don't know. It was probably peanut butter cups, not peanut butter itself, but still, I don't know if that goes with the ice cream. There's probably somebody out there who goes, "Yeah, it does go with ice cream," but I haven't tried it yet. So I will probably try it at one point. Um, anyway, I think there's like four different flavors, maybe five, and I'm just like, I don't know. I wish there was more flavors. I mean, they would probably have to come up with like Great Value Fancy if they were gonna have stuff equivalent to Baskin Robbins. Oh, Baskin Robbins is another one that they've got. If you're used to Baskin Robbins and Dryers and Breyers, you know, Great Value has that level of ice cream, I think. I am an ice cream connoisseur. Yeah. I'm also a popcorn connoisseur. I let the people know if it just doesn't taste, if it doesn't taste right. I let the people know. Or like if their sausage is giving like Costco, they have the taste tests. Um I will let them know if their sausage meat or beef jerky or whatever kind of meat it is I will let them know if it's giving heartburn vibes, because that could be a risk to sales. I haven't actually said it that way yet, because, usually they're like, oh, okay, whatever, and blow me off. But, I mean, they don't say whatever, but, they just kind of blow me off. So, well, this time, next time, I'm going to try to remember to tell them, if it gives heartburn, then you may lose sales because of that. Oh, good. Okay, that's finally done. I'm good. Okay. Yay me. Okay, so another thing you missed out on is, unless I said that during this video right now, but, we did the Doomsday Heist on GTA last night. Me, my husband, our son Squibs, and, remember, Squibs is a gamer tag, not his real name. And Ninja, which is also not his real name, it's part of his gamer tag. It's the only part that I've actually, memorized. That's what my husband calls him. For some reason, my son calls him Knight, and, I think he said something like, for Discord and stuff, he's Knight something, so I'm like, okay. But, we're gonna keep calling him Ninja, because that's his gamer tag. We call people by their gamer tag, because of stranger danger, and, you know, they're not, they're not underage teenagers anymore, but, we're still sticking to that. Um, you know what? I'll fix that later. That's what I said last time. I'm like, I'll fix that later. Did I fix it? No. Okay, I think we can take this out. The wandering traitor is not trying to drown himself and his llamas anymore. That's what he was trying to do, what, yesterday? Earlier? I think yesterday. Anyway. And I didn't get much done on my story yesterday. I started okay, so I got a large chunk of it done, before stream. I think it was before stream. It might have been the day before. But, I think I got, like, a large chunk of it done before stream, and then I got to the point where I was just confused, and I wasn't able to concentrate, and I'm just like, the heck with it. And then it was stream time, so I got on here and started doing this. And there was, like, after stream, and after all of the GTA drama, and I'm sorry to say, but there was a part where an airplane needed to be flown, and, Squibs called dibs, and I wasn't getting into the middle of that one. But because I get seasick, Darth decided, my husband, because his gamer tag's Darth Caesar 00. And, and if you're a mom of a child who plays GTA, or a young person who plays GTA, my husband is totally safe to play with. He actually, tries to teach you how to play the game correctly without going over and unaliving everybody you meet. That's a good way to alienate yourself to where you don't have a friend anymore. But anyway, my husband and Darth, he decided to fly the plane, and my son threw a fit, started trying to, Okay, so the problem is that we were in the vehicle. Uh, we're in my husband's vehicle, and it's got a gun on at the top, where you can shoot multiple bullets at the same time, and I love it because you can shoot the cops on there, or you can shoot the people, or you can shoot cars out of your way. But don't worry, we would not do that in real life. It's just a video game thing. Even, first of all, we wouldn't have a vehicle like that, but second of all, if we did, we would only do that. I mean, like we would probably make a shooting range just so we could practice, in case like zombie apocalypse came around, but we wouldn't actually do that in real life. I want to make that abundantly clear. I want to make that very, very, very clear. This is just stuff that we do in the game. Although I still wish that they would make it to where you could toggle on and off the bad words. I mean, mine would always be toggled off. To where like instead of saying the F word, they're like saying damn or something. That's the only thing I can think of is damn. Or darn. That would sound stupid. But or dang or something besides that word. There's got to be something besides that word. And then like when people are when people are going, oh poop, maybe instead of that other word for poop, not that we want to be talking about poop, but anyway, maybe besides the other word for poop that starts with an S, maybe have what my sister says around me, shiz, SHIZZ. It's an easy way to fix it. You know that's all I'm asking for, like GTA 6. Besides that, I think it'd be really cool if they could make it to where it was like all of the cities that they've ever had ever, but you know the way, but with the new technology. I mean, I think that would be really cool. Oh, well, I also think it'd be really cool if they brought back God mode. Maybe called it something different because I don't like it to where it says God mode. There's only one God, and he's got that power, and you know, so I don't like the word God mode, but if they could bring that back to where I don't have to worry about getting unalived every 5 seconds, that would be great. I don't think they'll bring that back. That's I'm not even thinking that's a hope. It might be thought of as cheating also. But it would be good for like when you're going around the map and um you've got an open session because you have to do you have to do whatever it is in an open session for some dumb reason. I hate when you have to do it in an open session because there's people that will go and sabotage you just because they can. You know, and it's not like they need that supply or that they need uh or that they need to unalive you for, like the points or something like that. It's just that they're actually, I don't know if there's a thing of kill this, I mean, unalive that many other players, live players, non NPC players. I don't know if there's like a special achievement for that. And that would be a really bad special achievement. I don't know, but I'm talking from like a mom point of view, so basically what I'm saying is probably not a popular opinion. But seriously, I don't like having to listen to those words. I don't think basically I basically I'm saying that there should be a streaming friendly mode because there are people who stream GTA and there's no way to turn off the sound. I mean, to turn off the people talking and stuff. And I like it better with the people talking. It's just that some of the words that they say are inappropriate for my stream, you know? Um, but I do hope that everybody benefits from watching my video, because like maybe you're stuck on something and you can't progress any further and you're like, this is so hard, and you're like thinking of giving up. Well, um, maybe on my very short video series of Doomsday, there'll be something that will make you not want to give up. Um, as they said on, I was thinking it was Buzz Lightyear for a second there, but it was actually Galaxy Quest. Um, as they said on Galaxy Quest, never give up, never surrender. Dang. How many movie quotes do I have in my head? So there's a quote, no more privacy than a goldfish, and I can't remember the other movies that's in. Um, but I want to say it was on Pinocchio, and I definitely know that it was on Pollyanna with Haley Mills. And it's on one other movie, and I can't think of what it is. I have no idea. It was something Mama had seen, and not me. So anyway, it's on at least 3 movies, and that is definitely a quote that is in my head. Um, see, another quote popped into my head, but I don't like that one. I really don't like that one. Okay, so in the movie Grease, they, uh, I- um, they, okay, in the movie Grease, Sandy and Danny meet at the beach, and they kind of like dated all summer, I think. And the thing is that on the last day, she's supposed to be going back to Australia, which is where she came from, and he's gonna be staying there in, I guess, LA area. I have no idea. They didn't say what town it is. They just said it was there. So it could be LA. It could be like Sunnydale from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We don't know where that place is. It could be Rydell, um, Rydell City. Uh, I'm only saying that because I went to Fairfield High in Fairfield, California. Fairfield High School, just in case you don't understand. Um, anyway, so it could be that. We don't know where this place is, but we do know that it's got a high school, a drive-in, um, and a diner, and of course houses. It's got it's got at least one house. I know it's got more than that, but but it's got at least one house. Oh, and an aqueduct. I forgot about that. Aqueduct. It's aqueduct. It's not aqua. Aqua is like, you totally said it wrong. Aqueduct. Anyway, that is very important because that is Thunder Road, and um, and they race their cars there. You race it for you race your car for the pink slip. So if you win, you get the other guy's car, and if you don't win, then the other guy gets your car. And um, so it was supposed to be Kanicki against his name's Belmudo in the second one, and Kanicki's they go by last names in that movie except for Sandy. Um, and the girls, uh, well, no, she goes by Rizzo, but the other two are Jan and Marty, and then Sandy, of course, and Frenchie goes by a nickname, and I think that's because she French kisses boys, but that's not the point here. Um, I've seen that movie 170,000 times at least, probably. So I may not be exaggerating on that one. Um, I don't know how many times I've watched that, but I love that movie. I will still watch it today, except for the part with the So Sandy has joined the cheerleaders at the school, and they had a bonfire, and um a bonfire is a controlled fire, it's in a fire pit kind of thing. Anyway, so they had a bonfire, and it's a pep rally. So they're um they're listening to Coach saying that, yeah, we've had some bad years so far, but this year we're going to get our, basically he's saying we're going to get all our ducks in a row, and we're going to go out there and we're going to, slaughter the competition, make it all better. We're going to win. Well, you never find out if they win, but that's not the point here. Uh, but Lorenzo Lamas from the TV show Renegade was in there. He's also in some soap opera. I don't know which one, but he's also in a soap opera. That's where he I think that's where he originally started his career, is in that soap opera. Um, but anyway, he was on the movie Grease as the football player who dropped his helmet and accidentally put his foot in it, and he dated Sandy for a little bit, or at least they went out on a date. Yeah, I think they were dating because he asked, "Are you still dating that?" Uh, oh no, I can't say that. Um, we'll switch it to football helmet. The article of clothing that he actually said goes lower than that, but yeah, I'm not mentioning it on my stream. But anyway, the part that keeps popping in my head is, "You're a fake and a phony, and I wish I never laid eyes on you." And then she goes running off, and she's crying, and Rizzo looks at Danny like, and walks away. I think she actually says something at that point, but I can't remember what it is right now. But I have seen that movie way more than the average viewer, I think, or like the average fan. I love that movie. Um, I found out that, and I found out at one point that I like, I like movies, or I like certain movies because of the music that's in them. So then I download the music, and it's like, um, like I downloaded the music, or um, yeah, it's mostly I downloaded it, I guess. Um, anyway, I acquired it in some way. So, like got it on CD or downloaded it onto my computer or whatever, you know. And then, when I watch the movie, it's still special, even though I can listen to that anytime I want. So I am going to be happy, I think. We're going to try to connect my headphones to my phone, and then I can listen to my story on the way to our vacation next month. And if we have to, I hope we don't have to, but if we have to, we're going to end up spending extra money getting a second set of headphones for the phone. I like to have, I like to have a speaker or headphones specifically for the device, whatever it is, and yeah. But I'm definitely going to get a different color because I got like a purpley pink. I got a purpley pink for my computer, but like I would like blue, I think, for my phone. Oh, yeah, my phone is blue, so yeah. Um, the thing is that I've got a rule around our house that everything has to be the same. Like if he gets let's say the next Xbox that comes out is Xbox uh Infinity, you know. I think that would be a great name, but they don't have to go with that. Yeah. But anyway, like say it's an Xbox Infinity and he gets himself an Xbox Infinity, I have to have an Xbox Infinity too. I mean you know, also. And then like if he got, the latest greatest um what K are we on now? Let's just say 20K. That way I'm all good cuz I don't know what K we're on right now. But say we got he gets a 20K computer. I have to have one too. There is no, you've got better equipment than me. No. Um, and that goes with phones too. Although both of us have the same exact version of phone right now, we're working on getting that on tablets also. Like we need to be able to go and say, okay, we need two of this tablet, and it's going to have to be internet based probably because that's the only kind of tablet they make now. A tablet is an Android iPhone if you don't know. I explain stuff like that because my my mom does not know the names of the Android stuff. So she's like, so I said a tablet, and she's like, "What's that?" And my dad explained to her it's like an iPad, but for non Apple users. And then she's like, oh, okay. And she understood. So, yeah, I want to be able to get that kind of stuff before we go, but I doubt that's going to happen. So I'll just have to read it off my phone. As long as I get my glasses before. Because she said it was going to take about 2 weeks to get used to them. And, um, she doesn't want it to be like, wear them for a day and say, these are causing problems. On the other hand, though, if it's like causing more seasick problems than I'm willing to deal with, then I think I probably would take them back and say, these are causing problems. But she said, give it 2 weeks. So that's not going to give us very much time, though. That's definitely not going to give us very much time to get used to them and, because we're supposed to get them about 2 weeks from, I think we paid it on Tuesday. Like we actually came up with the money for the glasses on Tuesday. Um, so, and then we had to go there on, yeah, it was either Monday and Tuesday or Tuesday and Wednesday. But, no, because we didn't go to mother-in-law's yesterday. Went to mother-in-law's on, uh, the day after that. We went to mother-in-law's on Wednesday, so it was probably Monday and Tuesday. Or we went and did all the shopping that we had, did the glasses and then the shopping, but I don't think that's how it went. Yeah, I think we went on Tuesday to do the glasses. So anyway, 2 weeks after Tuesday or Monday or whenever it was, um, is when we should expect to get our glasses. And she said sometimes they come in early, which would be ideal because, I think that would be ideal because, the longer I have to get used to wearing glasses, because it sounds like I'm going to have to wear them all the time. But the longer the longer I have to get used to it is probably better. Um, but it was really cool. We the day that we did go to mother-in-law's, we had In and Out. So that was Tuesday, I think. I think it was Tuesday. Pretty sure it was Tuesday. Um. Anyway, the day that we went to mother-in-law's, we had In and Out because that was, yeah, I think it was Tuesday. Because that was the day that something else happened. Um, and I needed Coca-Cola because my stomach was just not feeling the best. And, like Coca-Cola's got something in it that seems to eat the not feeling the best. And I'm not saying it works for all ailments. I'm just saying if you're a girl, it helps. Um, if you're female, it helps for that problem. Um, if you don't know, that's okay. You don't need to know yet. Um, if if you're like if you're like, say, 20 and above and don't know, then I don't know what to tell you. But I'm not saying it on this stream. But anyway, that happened, and I needed Coca-Cola. But the problem is that there's only two places that have real Coca-Cola. I mean, no, there's three places, but we don't go to that other one anymore, even though they have good food, Burger King, because they have really bad service. And I hope the CEO of I really hope that the CEO of Burger King is listening to this and um, finds out that they have really bad service at the North Carson Burger King, because maybe they can fix it. Like, I would hope that they would want to fix it. Anyway, they lost two customers because they have really bad service. They take care of the drive-through, and that's about it. They don't really take care of the people that are actually physically in the store. You would think that the people actually physically in the store would be more important to them than the people that are in the drive-through, but no. Anyway, so they lost two customers. So anyway, we went to In-N-Out, and I was able to listen to my story a little bit before we were eating, but that was also the day that I had 3 sore fingers. I don't know why. Oh, no, I do know why. Um, okay, part of that was sometime during the day, while my husband was home, I had smacked them against the wall. I didn't mean to, but it happened. So they were already sore for some reason. Um, I have no idea why, but they were already sore for some reason, and then it turned out that it was really hard to eat my burger. I took the finger braces off, but it was still really hard to eat my burger because my fingers hurt. But yesterday I was able to take some Excedrin, so just in case I need it again, I've got the bottle of Excedrin on my desk and stuff, up in the cabinet out of kitty reach like it usually is. Speaking of that, if anybody does have medications down where their kids or pets could get them, I really do suggest you put them somewhere else. Because kids are kids are usually very smart, and they are so smart sometimes that they do dumb things like open your medicine and take it themselves. Or maybe your pet will end up doing the same thing. Maybe you can't get that bottle open, but your pet can, and they go and, open up the bottle for you, but then end up cleaning the mess because, 5 of the pills ended up on the floor. Not an ideal situation. It would probably lead to a big vet bill. But yeah, I didn't work on my story very much yesterday. Um, I got a big chunk of it done, and then I started doing, this paragraph and that paragraph, and, in order, of course, but, I just started doing it that way because for some reason that page is like, that page was confusing me. If you called Sam, it would help. And if you can say a big word like coral, I'm sure you can say a little word like Sam. Ben's calling his brother. People say that adult cats do not talk to other adult cats. And I'm calling bull. Because my cats call each other like that. And I don't know if my cats are special or, I mean, they're special to me, but, I don't know if my cats are special or if this is what cats do. But I've noticed that my cats do talk to each other through meowing, and they don't just meow at me. So, I haven't said that in a long time on my video, but it's true. You know, Ben calls Sam, Sam calls Ben. Um, really. So far, I'm seeing the amazing floating llama. Move! Just in case he tries to drown the next one. There. Murderer. And he's questioning it. Really? Um, anyway. So, in case you're not in the know, this is my fictional Ireland build. And, this is the world from my books that I write. I usually call it my story. And it's not like, biographical where it's like the story of Tina Rash. It's not like that. That would be kind of boring, I think. I have been to Disneyland 4 times, but that's about as interesting as it gets, Um, been to, I've been to Disneyland 4 times, and I've been to Great America, Marine World, um, Marine World in Northern California, just in case there's another Marine World somewhere. Because I remember that Shamu was a whale in, I want to say San Diego for a while there, and we had Shamu in, Vallejo, California at Marine World for a while there. But only like 3 months or something like that. It wasn't a very long time, you know. and then they went, um, and then Shamu went back to San Diego or back to, um, um, Florida, wherever Shamu in was at the time, before they went to Vallejo. But anyway, um, went to uh, Marine World once when it turned in. No, twice after it turned to Roller Coaster Land, Six Flags. Um, we didn't go on very many of the big rides though, and there's a reason for that. I had a 2 or 3 year old at the time. I can't remember how old she was. She was able to go on she was able to go on some of the rides. We had, I think we had, um, oh, like we had, yeah, my aunt had, sees, a season long pass or whatever it was, because they're only open from a certain, they're only open, like, say, from April to October, something like that. Because they've got like a Fright Fest thing also. Um, I don't remember what it was called. It might have been called Fright Fest, but I don't remember. Anyway, they got an October, Halloween thing that they did too. But see, we were there also for for the animals. Like they had kangaroos and tigers and um, birds and um, they had a water show and a whole bunch of stuff. Only thing is that I can't be in the sun that long, so I'm pretty sure we went to the water show, but I don't remember. It might have been something that we skipped because it might have been something that we skipped because of because my aunt has a few medical issues and and they got a shark experience. I forgot about that. It just popped into my head. They got a shark experience. Um anyway, so that may have been one of those things that we didn't go to. But like I said, I can't be out in the sun very long, so that's the other thing. Oh, they got a really cool butterfly thing. A butterfly exhibit. It's actually got live butterflies. Is really cool. Sometimes they land in they like land on your head, or they'll or maybe they'll land on your nose. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I had a little hair on my ear that was being stupid. It was tickling my ear. Okay, keep going. He was standing over nothing. Oh, oops! Did I do that? Hold on. Hello? Well, if you're gonna call me up and not even talk to me. Okay, I want to know what's up with this new transparency thing. You get really super close to them like that, and all of a sudden they're see-through. That's just kind of creepy. See, he agrees. That is not what I said. I said go that way. That way, stupid. See, that's something that my husband has allowed on gameplay, is that they're calling the GTA character stupid. Well, I don't think that we should be calling anybody stupid. Thank you. Well, if you're gonna drown yourself, that's on you. Never mind. He'll be back. Oh, that is something that was making me mad yesterday. Really was. Some of the characters on GTA have like superpowers. You know, you shoot them, but you gotta shoot them that many times before they will unalive. So the big issue was that, you're trying to get this guy unalived, and, the other guy comes up behind you and shoots you in the back, and you, you unalive, pretty quickly. But do they? No. It's like, I don't know what kind of game system everybody else wants to play, but I really don't think that's okay. That they're like, like all of a sudden the bad guys have like a god mode. I don't think so. Oh, okay. That's gonna be fun. Not. Okay. I don't even know if it's like, oh, like if the kids are still saying not like that anymore, but um I guess I got into the peer pressure thing, or the cousin pressure, whatever, and started saying certain things, and, like not, and, there's like still in my vocabulary today. It's like, I know they're pretty much, not a thing anymore, but. Oh, yeah. I was watching a video one time, and it told why Candace Cameron said, "Oh, my Lanta," instead of "OMG." And it's because, they're Christians, and, they actually follow God, and um, It's like you can't say OMG because that's like taking his name in vain kind of thing. And so she came up with Oh My Lanta, and then everybody was saying Oh My Lanta because, DJ said it. That was something that, was happening for the longest time. Like, I would watch movies, but unless you were like somebody I definitely know, like John Travolta, you know, um, I would be like, oh my gosh, that's Danny Zuko. I wouldn't be saying that's John Travolta, though. And, like, I didn't even know some of the actors and actresses' names until I consciously started to, um, try to remember them. And it bugs the heck out of me sometimes because my husband's like, "Oh, is that Samuel L. Jackson?" And I'm like, no, that's Eddie Murphy." I mean, he's never made that. He's never made that thing. Um that mistake. He knows that some Samuel L. Jackson is that is a really hard name to say. Um, Normally I could say it just fine, but for some reason I'm having trouble today. But anyway, he like knows that that's Mace Windu, and he's on a bunch of other stuff too. But he knows that that's Mace Windu, and then Eddie Murphy's the donkey and the dweeb on Haunted Mansion. I'm sorry, he just for evers and evers, yeah, you made it into the Eddie Murphy show. Okay, so I get that thing of it, but that element of it, but besides the Eddie Murphy show part of it, it had more of a mystery to it, and I liked it. Um, I didn't quite get that, mystery liking it vibe from the one with Danny DeVito in it. It was a good movie, and I would watch it again. But, it's just wasn't the same. Like Eddie Murphy's, they tried to go and, get all the elements from the Haunted Mansion, and, Danny DeVito's, they just kind of made it that it's a mansion and it's haunted. Yeah. Yeah. I actually don't remember very much from it, but that I liked it. And I was hoping that those two people would get together at the end. And I don't remember if they did or not, so if you haven't seen it, I can't tell you. I don't know. I mean, like, if I watched it again, it'll be like, oh, yeah, that's what happened. Okay. Yeah. But right now, I'm like, I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, I can't tell you everything that happened. Um, my husband went and got the Minecraft movie for us on, uh, I think on our anniversary. Because we couldn't find a movie that we wanted to watch in the theater. We usually go and watch a movie in the theater for special occasions, like birthdays and, well, my birthday at least. Um, for my birthday and anniversary. Um, I don't know what we need to come up with a something that we usually do on his birthday. But like for my birthday, we usually try to watch a movie in the theater and have popcorn and then, go home, do our regular stuff. But, that way it feels special. But I told my husband this year, we're trying to, um, I told my husband this year that, um, we're trying to afford to keep the house and stuff. And, that it wasn't a big deal. We'll just, oh, it's 11:11. Okay, so anyway, that we could just get a movie, pick out a movie, that we've watched a million times, and watch that instead, as long as we got popcorn. But so we ended up having this awesome bag of popcorn. It's movie theater popcorn at Smith's grocery store. Smith's Food and Drug. Um, I think that's because they have a pharmacy. It's not like we're sampling drugs or something like that. Um, it's a drug. And it's a medicine store. We'll call it a medicine store. Wrong thing. So, anyway, he got it from there, and he would have gotten me another bag by now, except for that when they sent it, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not, but when they sent it, it was all out of date. All of it. And I'm kind of hoping that, making this known, if I knew what brand it was, that would help too, because, if I knew what brand it was, then I could say, hey guys, could you send some good stuff? Because, you got at least one customer. I'm pretty sure there's more than one customer, because that popcorn was good. But, the last batch was all out of date. It was like somebody, well, my husband said that he took it all into the back because it's all out of date, right? And somebody went and put it back out on the shelf. And, that right there to me says that the employee who did that probably worked at Walmart before they got the job at Smith's. Because Walmart don't care. Let's put it out on the shelf, and or at least certain managers didn't care if it was in date or not. Like the candy bars at the front registers, be careful of those. They could have been up there for 10 years. Especially the Tic Tacs at one point. Um, yeah. We got the job in 2019, and I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, oh, come here. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Okay, get off the footrest. There you go. Good girl. Bobby comes over here and gets petted in the mornings because it's still cold. A little, just in the mornings it's still cold. So she's like, she wants to get petted because it keeps her warm. And then later in the day, she'll be like, looking at me like, it is so hot in here. So yesterday, I ended up turning on the Yesterday I ended up turning on the air conditioner. I don't like it when I'm sitting here sweating. So, whether my husband liked it or not, I turned on the air conditioner. I'm like, it's hot in here. And we're playing video games, so it's not like we were exercising or something like that, you know. Hey, do you see the birdie? I know, it's a video game birdie. And I hope you know the difference. She was watching the birdie for a little bit. Um, yeah, way over there. Dang. Nope, didn't work. Yeah, yesterday I just couldn't convince myself to get off the game. And so I kind of took a day off. Today I don't think I'm going to do that. You know, it's like I set out to do a certain amount of pages a day. So I would have the story done before. So I'm not like, while I'm down there going, I need to finish! I need to finish! You know, I don't want to be like, you know, stressed out that I need to finish it. Um, but also, I was kind of hoping that I could at least get a rough draft audio for the for my Finding Love book. Rough draft video means that it's audio, but it doesn't have all the voices and stuff. Which I think would be really great if I could do that. If I would do that, but I don't know. Like I want to do it that way, and I don't want to do it that way all at the same time. Like I would like to just audio it, you know, have it perfect the first time, and then I don't have to go and fix it later or redo the whole entire thing, you know. So I'll probably end up doing it with the voices and all that, and like if I started doing both of those at the same time, it would be a little confusing, but I think I could work it out. But I still haven't gotten to the point where I started Finding Love. So Finding Love has to go before Esperanza's party. And I didn't audio the first three, so that's going to be interesting. And you know, like they're not going to flow from one to the other. Well, they're not going to flow anyway, really, because they're standalone books, but they're not standalone books. Yeah, and because like I said, the one, it's like Morgan's story, and Morgan's story revolves around the the three characters, Hayden and William and Jake. So, there's parts where Hayden is in Morgan's book. There's parts where William is in Morgan's book, and there's parts where Jake is in Morgan's book. But then there's also parts where Morgan, William, and Jake are in Hayden's book, and there's parts where Hayden, Morgan, Hayden, and Jake are in William's book, and then there's parts where Morgan, Hayden, and William are in Jake's book. So, you know, um, and part of the fun is that they have the same, um, they have some of part of the fun is that they have some of the same scenes, but it's from the other person's point of view. So, it's going to be like that for a little bit, but then I've got to come up with, um, Mitch is one of the characters that is, um, that is kind of very important after they get onto the ship. So, he has to get the ship going and keep it that way. And then, Jason, he basically went to college so there's more girls to date. Um, so, and they, I don't know if this is true or not, but, like TV shows and movies are always trying to tell you that French babes, um, French ladies are like the best. So anyway, that's probably why Jason went to school there, um, he's got a very small story, and Mitch basically has a very small story. So it's like, I kind of want to make a bunch of short stories for some of the other characters. Um, like have like maybe have a really long chapter, or have it be like, probably have it be more like A Christmas Carol, where it's got stave one, and then I think it's got chapter one, two, and three, or something like that, and then it's got stave two and chapter four, five, and six, or something like. I can't exactly remember. I don't have a copy of that right now, so I can't. I had one. I had one. But anyway, and I can't really, um, you know, tell you about it right now because of that. I like listening to stories on CD or tape or MP3 file, because that way I can do something like this and still be listening to the story, still get that story vibe. Um, Hi, are you cold? Yeah, I think you're cold, huh? Yeah, you're cold. No? Okay, we'll get off the footrest. I think she's cold, she just doesn't want to admit it. um, it's not that, it's actually not cold in the house, it's actually nice. I need to switch from my sweats that I sleep in overnight, and I need to switch from those um to whatever I'm gonna wear today, and open the doors. I think there'll be a lot more airflow if I open the doors. Because it's getting a little warm in here, but I think that's because I'm wearing my sweatpants, which seems a little weird. So I was just petting her. I think somehow I got the fur near my left eye. I was petting her with my right hand. Don't know how. I don't know how that would have happened, but I think I did. Um, and then there's one more book that I know that I wrote pretty dang good after that. Um, there might be two. I don't know if the second one is finished or not, but I know that. Okay, so I know that one book is um, Luke's story. He is the ship's preacher, the person that tells them about God and um, tries to keep them on the straight and narrow, even though they're pirates. Um, Basically, they're using the ship as a cruise ship, so they just live on the ship and go from place to place, and you know they don't really do piratey things unless the enemy pirates are trying to mess with them, and then they can mess back. If the enemy pirates are trying to fight them, they can fight back. That that's pretty much it. But the thing is that Luke tries to get it to where it's not too far, where they just like a serial unaliver, where they're just doing it to do it. They're just any person that they see they unalive. He's trying to keep it to where they don't do that. But basically they try to keep their enemies alive and just like drop them off on the island. And there's a really good reason for that, but you have to read the island to find out why. um Actually, in one of the books, I gotta write it a little better, I think. But in one of the books, they end up at the island, and that's when they meet. That's when they find out what's on the island. And they know they don't want to ever go there again after they're done visiting. So, it's like anytime somebody is old enough to, hey, okay, the video is going and the screen went black. So that shouldn't be happening. And then B, the thing wasn't saying that I was recording on Twitch. And I am, so that doesn't make any sense. Um, but anyway, so there's Finding Love, The Missionary, and then I think, I'm not sure yet, that it's either Amnesia or Lost Memory is going to be next. I couldn't have both of them be Amnesia, so I will probably if the one character is okay. Well, I already mentioned Katie and Daniel. So anyway, if Katie is Lost Memory, I think I will change Katie's title to Amnesia, and I will make um I will make Daniel's Lost Memory. I'm you know because basically they both got amnesia. They both got hit over the head, whatever, and did not know who they were when when they woke up again. And so somehow, um, I don't remember how, but somehow, um, Daniel found a nice house where he could be the groundskeeper, and he's basically there trying to make sure that the roses grow and, you know, grow, stay alive, and all that. But also, he's got the idea that maybe he's not meant to be there. And so he's teaching the owner of the house, he's teaching the owner of the house's son to keep the roses alive. And all the other groundskeeper stuff just in case. So then, so if he ever gets rescued from wherever he's supposed to be, and he still doesn't have his memory back, but I mean, he's got his memory. No, I think he had his memory back, and that's why they emailed her. Anyway, he somehow emailed Hayden, I think, and and I think he emailed Hayden, and Hayden goes to Jake and says, "Hey, we need to check this out." And then they do, and or or maybe he was talking to William. Anyway, maybe he's talking to both of them, and they all decide, yeah, she needs to know about this. And then they go and they find out, um, they find out that it's somebody that's very special to her. And then in another book, um, okay, I want to say in Finding Love, you find out that Michelle's dad was supposed to come back. They were gonna get married after Jake and Michelle were 18, or at least after she was 18, something like that. They were supposed to get married, and her dad was supposed to be there to give her away. And disaster happened. Michelle's uh, they're living in Australia because Michelle's mom got stabbed through the heart, but she lived. What the heck? That is a video and it is still playing. Can't convince my computer of that, but it's a video and it's still playing. Apparently, um, what what is this video called? I mean, what is the... Okay, so there's a channel on YouTube called Flounder Cat, and Flounder thinks she's a fish because she likes to swim. Yeah, she's a cat, but she thinks she's a fish. Anyway, um, they had, and I didn't realize this until, like this past summer. But anyway, they had two cats, or at least two cats. And one of them was Flounder. That's the one that's like always in the videos. And there was also Fiki, and unfortunately, Fiki passed away recently. And apparently, the video that it's having trouble realizing is a video. 'Cause it keeps going to a black screen, and I don't know why. Um, anyway, is loss of a pet. So, yeah. I could not make that video. I really couldn't, because, the thing is that when we lost Coral, January 23rd of 2025, I was crying. That's like losing your kid. We'd had her since she was a tiny little kitten. She was less than 2 pounds. Her and her sister, and thank God for Bed Bath and Beyond, because we did not have a bathroom scale, and they let us use the bathroom scale on the hope that that they were gonna make a sale on a bathroom scale, and we would have bought one if we'd had the money. But they were so sweet. They let us use their bathroom scale, and then it turned out that they weren't 2 pounds yet, and then they were, or maybe they just turned 2 pounds, something like that. And we took them back to the Nevada Humane Society because we were fostering them, and we got to adopt them. So, when they were 2 pounds. So we'd had them since they were little, tiny, and they were totally helpless because they were supposed to have medicine, and if Coral had had medicine, she might have lived even longer. But, like, we were the first household who actually gave them their medicine, and we don't know what happened to Nancy because she moved out on us when she was 3 years old. But, that was a long time ago. So I hope she's still alive. That was, 6 years ago? No. No, wait a minute. 10 years ago. Sorry. Not doing math very well right now, am I? Yeah, so I gotta do my outro because, if this goes past noon, like it did yesterday, it could be a disaster. Besides, I need to go in Dreamlight Valley at least and find the blue chest. There should be 2 or 3 of them because I forgot to look for them. No, there should be 2 because I forgot to look for them I forgot to look for them yesterday, and then I forgot to look for them today. So far. So anyway. Oh, that's what I was telling you though. Is that, I want to say in Finding Love, I know that the one Michelle thing is in Finding Love, but I don't remember when they find what she was looking for. So anyway, her dad is a pirate, so he's not at home with Michelle and Cheryl Cheryl's his Cheryl's her mom. Uh, Michelle's mom, and um, and would you stop that? It's not supposed to go black when it's playing YouTube video. Um, Maybe it's because the speaker's not on, but the video is not playing sound on purpose. So, um, anyway, so so like 2 weeks, yeah, I think it's 2 weeks before Michelle's supposed to turn 18 is when disaster happens and her mom finally passes away from that sword wound. Um, so, they, I think I totally skipped over the funeral expenses and the funeral and all that, but anyway, they get that taken care of, and, um, I think I skipped over that whole thing. Now that I think about it, it's not very important to the plot. It's just, anyway, so she ends up having to get shipped to her Aunt Sheila in France. And so she does, but Aunt Sheila already figured it out. She's going to ship her, they're going to move to Australia, back to the house that Michelle lived in before she got shipped off to Sheila. And, they've already got it figured out and they're going to go. Well, she tells her this on Christmas Eve, I think. And no, it must have been yeah, because it was Christmas Day when the bad thing happened. So anyway, on Christmas Day, an enemy pirate comes and steals Michelle and unalives Sheila for protesting. And so Jake has to start the search for his girlfriend, and he has no idea where to look. He, got sent a little bit of a map that, kind of showed the general area of where they were supposed to be, but he doesn't really know. So he finally finds the apartment, or he had the address to the apartment, something like that. Anyway, but, if he had a map to show him the general area of where she went after that, and it didn't get filled in all the way. And if it had, then she might, he might have known it was a pirate ship and, looked at all the pirate ships that came into the dock and found her a lot sooner. But he doesn't. So, so years later, he rescues her. He finds her at Shatana's and he rescues her. But all of a sudden, somebody got an email, because I can't remember who. Maybe Jake. Yeah, I think Jake. Jake got an email, and it's somebody that's very special to Michelle. And they have to go and rescue him, and I don't know if that's in Finding Love or if that's in Finding Love or if that's in a future book, like maybe Luke's book Missionary. I don't remember. Um, I know that I um I I changed their last name, but I basically have Pastor Sam and Sister Bobby in one of my books. But um, instead of making their child Jason or Heidi, Jason or Marnie, I made it Heidi. And Heidi likes Luke, but she doesn't want to admit it. And she's afraid that he's not going to like her as soon as he finds out that she's a preacher's kid. And then, and she does some things that doesn't make her sound like a preacher's kid. Um, he doesn't want to believe it at first, but then he finds out, yeah, she is a preacher's kid. Okay. So anyway, and he's a preacher's kid. Um, I also brought I also brought um I guess it's Pastor Pat now. And I don't know if I brought in his wife's actual name. I think I did though. Anyway, I took I took and well, basically I added people that I know that are preachers into my story, but like I said, with the one family I changed their last name just in case they didn't want to be associated with my books for some reason. But that's who it's supposed to be. And and at one point in missionary, Pastor Sam is holding his gun on Luke, because he doesn't know that he's a preacher's son. He just knows that he's a person that found their island, and their lives are already being threatened by enemy pirates or something. I can't remember who it was, but they're already being threatened by them. So they moved to this island, and um, I don't remember what I put. Exactly what I put, but as soon as I get to that one, I'll let you know. But yeah, like every time I want to put it into rough draft mode to where it's just like, the narrator is reading the whole story, this other little voice inside of me is telling me, no, do it right. So I'm like, what should I do? I don't know. Anyway, it's almost 11 minutes to noon. So, obviously, I've been telling you about them for a little while now. Um, I write books. They are available on Amazon in hardback, paperback, and ebook. Um, you know what? I was trying to say that most of the hardbacks are 26, but it's an even number between the hardbacks that are $26 and the hardbacks that are 24, 25, and $27. So Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, and Hard Times, they're all $26 for the hardback. And then Esperanza's Party is 24. The Island is 25, and Lessons in Love is 27. And Adopted Quarrel, the children's book, is not available in hardback at this time. But like I said, I think I will end up probably putting it as like Coral, Ben, Sam, and Bobby when I get that far. What I would like to do is take a picture of the outside of the house where she grew up, and then another picture of the shelter where my sister got her at, um, and then if my sister has some baby pictures of Bobby, when she's a little kitten, that would be awesome. Just and then have some pictures of her here. Me and my sister are definitely gonna have to collaborate on that one. Get together and do it together, and then I would be totally willing to put on there by uh, Tina Rash um, and my sister's name. So their last name is Smith, and we for their anniversary. I mean, not for their anniversary, for their wedding, we got them a copy of the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And I keep telling my sister, shame on you, because she has not seen it yet. I keep telling her, shame on you. Because, it's got their name right on it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so anyway, then the paperbacks, all of the grown-up paperbacks are $20, and then Adopted Coral is only $6. And I still think it would make a great Easter present. And all of the all of my books are actually available for the free shipping. So if you buy $25 or more worth of stuff, they are available for free shipping. And I love that. That's how I've gotten. I had the survey thing going on. I don't know if I was supposed to talk about that or not. Because it's like all of a sudden one day they were just like, you're not eligible for this anymore. Or we can't have you on here anymore. Something like that. And maybe it's because I was talking about it. I thought, maybe it would be, a way to get some people money that, didn't have money coming in. Um, and if that's what I did to not have that anymore, then I'm so sorry. But, anyway, I had that survey thing where they were like, monitoring my phone. And I don't do much with my phone. Like I don't go and pay my bills and all that stuff. And I didn't think it was very fair um, you know, for them to ask me only because I don't do much on my phone. It's like I don't do all that stuff that other people do. So, but I was able to get my books and I'm very happy about that. I'm very, very happy. So, but I always made sure that I had an order of $25 or more because it qualified for the free shipping. The one time I was able to get my husband a book for his birthday, and I had not been able to do that before, so I was very happy. I was like, you know, do you want this book? And then, I mean, if I was able to get you a Star Wars book, which one would you want? And that's when I ordered for him, and or maybe I ordered something else, but um, anyway, whatever. I ordered him a Star Wars book, and then I was like, I want to give it to you now because I got it like in January. Why are you mad? Yeah, you. Why are you mad? Well, I think I'd be mad at the llama too for trying to jump on my head. Thanks a lot, llama. Okay. Well, he's no longer mad. That's good. There. Okay, now I just have to get him onto the stair. Come on, a little no, not that way, dummy. You want to go that way. Yeah, there you go. Now go up the stairs. Oh, you're having fun. Okay. Really? Okay. That's not what I meant. Oh, for all of you who remember me saying that, husband hadn't gotten to watch that one episode of Nash Bridges, um, he did get to actually watch it, and, um, that's annoying. She's still talking. And it keeps going black. And, it's not supposed to be doing that. So anyway, he finally got to watch that episode of Nash Bridges. Um, it's like, okay, so I was trying to brace myself. Dang, this kid don't want to be rescued. Basically, I go to great lengths to try to save the animals from themselves. Well, you realize, puppy, you're going to, okay, what do you want? You want a bone. Oh, I don't have a bone. You stupid puppy! Okay, if I can just get the puppy over to the thing. I thought I had a great way to keep the puppy inside. And no. You're going to be a grown up puppy before we figure out how to save you. I don't care you want to stay over there. That little guy likes swimming. I don't care if the little guy likes swimming. I don't want him to swim. He's going to drown himself. And I think I hear Lucy. Think that's the dog's name. Sounds like Lucy when they're yelling. Okay, now. Where'd the puppy go? Okay. You're not going swimming. I bet you the little puppy will figure it out, but and then all of a sudden a bird spawns in. Okay. That's odd. Okay, so and my ebooks are $3.05 for Pirate's Daughter and Esperanza's Party, $5 for Misfortune, Hard Times, The Island, and Lessons in Love, and only $2.99 for Quarrel's book. So if your child has, some kind of phone or tablet, you know, that's a way to get an even better discount on Adopted Quarrel for Easter. Just a suggestion. Um, Now, I'm going to have to figure out something because Um, because after Easter is Mother's Day. So, yeah, my books will make great presents for Mother's Day too. But what do I say about Adopted Coral? Makes great birthday presents. That's about it. Well, birthday presents are important. Very, very important, in my opinion. Of course, I also think that, no matter what time of year, you should have cake and ice cream for your birthday. Unless you're, like, allergic to cake somehow or ice cream, and then, equivalent of. Um, because some people can't have, um, ice cream, so they have sherbet instead. Or sherbet, however you say that. Um, Instead. Uh, but I actually found out, I think I found out that it's actually got milk in it. It's just got a less. I am not entirely sure, but I think that is one of the things I found out. And I was upset because it's supposed to be a alternative to having ice cream, and and it's a it's not what it's supposed to be. Anyway, it's supposed to be like the non-dairy substitute or something like that, I think. And I found out it does have dairy in it because, like, one of the ingredients is milk. And I'm like, oh, great, yay. Because I couldn't have it at the time. I was wondering why my stomach was getting just a little bit upset, but not, too bad. And I was like, oh, it's got milk in it. That's why. Yay. Don't quote me on that though. It could have been something else I was thinking of, but I think that's it. Um, I know for a fact that the DAIYA cheese and well, yeah, cheese. That's um work that works really good if you cannot have regular cheese. It works really good. Because for a while there, I was having a problem with dairy, and now I seem to be okay because, got my gallbladder out last July, and, it's like just after my birthday, too. So, like, just after my birthday, but I was like, but I have a happy thought. It wasn't on my birthday. I was trying to be the not the woe is me. I was trying to be the brave person that, knows that they need surgery and, just get over and done with. But I did ask, I did, I didn't know any details on your gallbladder, and I was like, I was told if I had any more surgeries that, it wouldn't be a good thing. And, because I was told I couldn't have any more kids because of because I had to have C-sections for both of them. Well, we know somebody who had like 6 C-sections, so I don't know what they're talking about, and I seem to be a very strong person, but we got me to where I can't have babies anymore anyway, just in case, just in case they weren't, talking out their butt or something, um, like my husband likes to say. He says it different, but he uses that other word, but just in case they knew what they were talking about, didn't want to be able to get pregnant again. I got my daughter, got my son. I'm good. Um, I'm always like, what if I'm like my aunt and and they did what they need to do to, make it sure I can't have any more kids and they screwed up. What if? Now, first, I would be going to the hospital that did it and going, you need to fix this. But then also, I'd be, I'd be making them pay for the, pay for the added expenses, even though, it would be our kid, I'd be making them, help me pay for the added expenses. So, told you about my books. So, if you're watching me on Twitch right now, please follow and chat. And if you're watching me on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell, and please get those valid public watch hours up. Also, please buy my books. Like I said, they're eligible for free shipping on orders of $25 or more. You can totally, like, say you were gonna buy that awesome blanket on Amazon and want a good book to read in bed. You can do that too. Just saying. I don't have blankets and stuff, but you could like buy that awesome blanket that you were gonna buy anyway and add a book to it and add one of my books to it, and then you got total coziness. If you're one of those people that struggles to go to sleep at night, maybe try listening to a book, or specifically a favorite book. Seems to work better if it's a favorite. It does not have to be mine, but that would be really awesome if it was. But like I said, it does not have to be mine. I understand that, one person's likes or somebody else's dislikes, and, um, but, I'm trying to get people interested in my books, not only because I think y'all will very much like them. We need a little bit more money in the house. And if I could at least get, say $500 in sales every month, I'd be really happy. I would be really happy. I think that would cover the HOA fees and give me some money too, you know. And if I had some money, I'd be able to do stuff like make sure that people have good food to eat, because I don't know if that food bank even exists anymore. But, I'd be able to make sure that people have food to eat, and that it's in date and safe for them to eat and everything. But I'd also be able to do some giveaways, and maybe make those pillow like ornaments, so like when they knock down the Christmas tree, I don't have to worry about anything breaking. I wanted to go and like take a picture of every single one of my ornaments and see if maybe we could restore Harry Potter to his former glory. He had a wand in his hand, and now he doesn't because it broke off. Like, I think his entire arm broke off. I would like to. I'd like to contact. Seriously, I would like to contact Hallmark. I think that's where we got it from. Hallmark, and say, okay, can you get me a picture of this? Or could you get me a new one? I am very proud of my cats, though. This year, they did not knock over the Christmas tree. Notice 1 year in, like, all the years that we've had the cats. But at least it's something, you know. Okay, so, I guess we will finish this and, finish this part of this and, get down to the water line. And we will. Yeah, right now the ocean looks very dangerous. You go and start to dive in that ocean, and you're gonna wee hit your head. Yeah. So I am a little sorry that this went so long, but you know, I don't get I don't get to talk to very many people because I'm working on my story or I'm streaming my video game. So I get to talk to all of you who watch this video, but there's like not very many people in person. So it translates to a little bit longer videos. Um, so my husband gets upset when like we're both playing video games and I'm like, "You're not spending any time with me." He's like, "What am I supposed to spend time with?" And then that feels bad because because he's like, um, well, it's like, what's there to spend time with because, I'm playing my video game and he's playing his. And, or I'm working on my story, whatever. And, it's just the way he words it that gets me very upset. But anyway, so I don't get to talk to people very often, so the video ends up being longer sometimes. Okay, so I think I will continue doing this off stream a little bit, see if we can get the animals to go from this island to. Where did I put that? From this island over to that island, and hopefully up here and across. That's what it's supposed to be. Oh, but then that means that they can get back out again. So let me finish this real quick and then I will end the stream. Okay, there. And just to make this safer. Okay. It's like, I don't want to be, say, down there somewhere and all of a sudden this cow comes out of the, or pig. Yeah, I think that's a pig. Like the cow or pig comes out of the, spot and crashes down on me. That would be not a good thing. Okay, I said I was going to end this stream. Yes, I did. I did. Ah, there we go. Yeah. Okay, anyway, I said I was going to end the stream. Have I done it yet? No! Am I going to? Good question. technically it's not 3 hours yet, but do we want it to be 3 hours? Not necessarily. Um, why am I making this so high? Okay, there we go. Okay, weird things that pop into your head while you're playing video games. I was sitting here and I saw the one animal go over, and then all of a sudden, and there was another animal in the area, and all of a sudden, if I were king of the forest, popped into my head. And that's the only thing, that's the only part of the song that popped into my head. Very weird. Okay, so okay, so anyway, we need to end the stream. Yeah, please buy my books and please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell, and follow in chat, and I will see you in the next stream or video.